Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Catherine Yang, Digital Marketing Manager at Ideas Revenue Solutions, and I've been here for over 8 years. I'm so excited to be joined by Marcus from Busy Room. So Marcus, I'll hand it over to you to introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. Hello, Catherine. Hello, everybody. My name is Marcus. I'm working for Busy Rooms. I'm VP Sales for Central Europe. And I've worked for various hotels for over 20 years and got a wealthy experience in the hotel business. And since 2008, I'm working in the hotel technology business. And I'm still delighted to be connected with hotels. And in addition, I also volunteer the Hotel Technology Circle at the HSMA. It's a Hotel Sales and Marketing Association. So I'm pretty much looking forward now to talk about hotels and their needs.
Yes, thank you for being here. Today's topic is all about mapping the prospect's journey from click to confirmed value. And so, yeah, I think that we can all say that every business has a prospect journey. And so really understanding your buyer journey can really help you in, getting more value from your guests.
That's right. So let me start with the first question, Catherine. What do you feel makes a strong digital footprint for hotels today?
So I would say someone doesn't just wake up and decide that they want to buy something or take a trip to Bali. They first typically get inspiration from social media, and then they'll go and use ChatGPT, look up things to do if they decide that they want to go to that place. And then they go to Google or all these different OTA channels to find different rate options to determine the best place to stay. So really understanding that prospect journey and mapping out where you think your buyers are looking will really help you show up in the right places and help them in that decision-making process. And also making sure that your brand is consistent in all of these different channels, I believe makes a really good digital footprint.
Okay, that's interesting. And yeah, sorry.
Yeah. What about you, Marcus?
I agree to what you said. And I think the digital footprint today isn't only about being everywhere. It's about being consistent wherever the guests look, because guests do not think in channels. They just look around. And from what I see, the hotels that perform best are the ones whose stories doesn't change depending on the channel. So that you have your story at every channel the same way. So pricing makes sense, availability is accurate, messaging is aligned, and the booking experience feels trustworthy from the first click to confirmation. So I think that's a real important thing. And then it's consistency across all channels. Pricing, availability, and booking experience then builds trust if it's consistent, and trust converts.
Yeah, really great insight. I really like what you said there about the story, making sure that your story is consistent across all of these different channels. I think that is very important. So I think that is a great segue to this next question. Marcus, how can hotels use their technology or data to spot demand early and market smarter?
I would like to start with a missed opportunity. I see hotels using data only to react instead of anticipate. Hotels already have signals, search behavior, pace, pickup trends, channel performance, but those signals often sit in silos. And when pricing and availability and distribution data are connected, hotels can spot demand shifts earlier. And that means marketing is smarter, not louder. Instead of pushing generic offers, they can adjust messaging channels and timing based on real demand signals. So the hotels that do this well aren't guessing. They are responding faster than their competitors. And the speed is huge. Huge speed is advantage, I think, today. What are your experiences?
Yeah, I would say same. Like using forecasting signals to determine when things are picking up and paying attention to the market signals. But I would agree with you in terms of how we have all of these tools and data, but they all live in silos. They're um, not integrated, and so I believe really working with your teams to create processes and operations to make sure that all of these tools and your data talk to each other so that you are able to pick up, different website patterns, using your technology to pick up these signals so that you can create your marketing plan so that you're not always reacting. I would say be prepared, but also flexible in your marketing plan.
Mm. So maybe we could say it's a takeaway for hoteliers could be that early demand signals already exist and you just need aligned systems and teams to act on them, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's a great also bridge to the next questions. What do you think? Where do hotels most often lose demand without realizing it?
So earlier, I think we've been talking about consistency across all of these channels. And so I will say that you can lose demand even though you have an awesome ad, but if it doesn't align with what you're saying on your website, with what you're saying on social media, and you're promoting all of these different offers in these different places, there's no consistency. And I feel like that's where you can lose trust and demand. That's why it's so important to use your technology and have that integrated tech stack so that you are properly telling that story in all of these different channels the same way so that you build that trust.
Okay, that's great. I would add again the speed, maybe. So demand is most often lost in the gap between insight and execution. So hotels actually see the signals, changes in search behavior, pick up pace, but the response comes too late or it isn't consistent across channels. So that's what you said with the consistency, right?
Yeah. So, based on, we were talking about consistency, what is one assumption hotels still make about demand that no longer holds true?
Well, a common assumption is that demand is predictable and stable, that it follows the same patterns year after year. In reality, demand today is far more fluid, right? Guests decide later, compare more, and switch channels much faster than in former times. And relying too heavily on historical patterns without questioning them can slow reaction time. But the time demand locks confirm the opportunity has often already shifted, right? And the last thing, the hotels that adapt best are the ones that treat demand as something dynamic, something you respond to in real time, not just plan for in advance.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think that if we are comparing year over year, um, buying behaviors changes year after year, new technology, new social media platforms, new competitors come into the space, which I would say affect how people shop and how people look and make their decisions. And so looking at last year's historical data is important, but you should use that as a guide to plan, but being able to also look at future demand or signals because what maybe there's an event that came up that is coming up this year that didn't happen last year, which can affect your booking and market plans as well. So, yeah, I would say I would agree with you being dynamic in that sense, where you have a plan, but like I mentioned earlier, being flexible, being dynamic to make sure that you can pick up these different signals and market better and adjust your marketing campaigns accordingly to all of the market shifts that are happening.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a lot we brought together, right? So maybe we could bring it to a point. So what do you think if a hotel could align just one single thing this quarter to capture more demand? What should it be, and why do you think it should be?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest takeaway from today's conversation is consistency. One of the things that I realized we talked a lot about was consistency and aligning your technology stack and building those processes and operations so that you can use all of this data to be a better marketer, to come up with a better plan, to be dynamic and flexible. When you have a connected tech stack, you can understand your buyers' behavior and kind of pick up on what they're trying to achieve. So building that buyer journey is really important to meet guests right at the moment they're ready to make that decision. What about you?
Yeah. I would again add the speed. So I'd say alignment between pricing decision and distribution execution. Too often hotels adjust strategy, but it doesn't reach the guest fast enough or consistently enough. Yeah? So the consistency you said and the speed, I said maybe if we bring that together, we could have the takeaway for hoteliers that maybe say speed and consistency beat complexity. Align what you already have and act faster than before. And that might be a good solution to fix issues.
Yes. So that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much, Marcus, for all of the great insights. I would say, I think there's a lot of different perspectives, but I would say we can all say that alignment and being able to have that connected tech stack is really important. So thank you so much for being here. And our hope is that you were able to leave with something simple to take away. But yeah, thank you, Marcus, for joining us today, and appreciate everybody who also joined in as well.
Thanks to you, Catherine. And yeah, let's do that again. That was very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.